Okay, hi everyone. A smaller class today, right? We are not so many today, it seems. Tournaments over there in the World Open and so on, I guess. Sorry, let me. What did I do? Right. Hi everyone. So great that some of you showed up. You're not playing the World Open, it seems. What did I miss? Nothing. We just started. This was from last time. In this game, Magnus Carlsen just played knight f3. Black played king g7. And what did we say about this position? This was the quiz. Yeah, what did the great Magnus Carlsen play here with the white pieces? That's what I wanted to ask you about. I'll ask you for 30 seconds. Yeah, not a big class today. I see. So you will learn more, perhaps. Why did white play knight h4? Exactly. JM, shooting stars, Pop Fisher, tricky windmill. That's what happened. Kavarov, that was his plan. I like chess, awesome Sarthak. And black should have done something else, right? So, okay, Pop Fisher, since you're asking, show us, please. White's smart move here. Knight h4 heading for f5. If pawn takes, bishop. Yeah, no problem, Cameron, no problem. Yeah, exactly. Now I'm pinned now, so black would have to play something like that instead. That's how the game continued. And in this case, you have two ways to take on f5, but it seems smarter to take it this way so that we keep the king side open to attack. So anyone after knight f3, what should black have? Exactly, Sarthak. What should black have played instead? Reasonable move with black? I don't think so, Pop Fisher. Yeah, tricky windmill, I think so. This is the same thing as the game, basically. If you play... Oh, somebody made a move here. Sorry. I will come back to the position. Oh, I can't... wait for me. This is from last time. So give me just one moment and I will pick it up from last Thursday. Yeah, sorry. Wait for me just one moment. So it was like this. He played knight f3. So if you take on f3, it basically amounts to the same thing as in the game. It's just that you traded on f3 instead of trading on f5, right? So I think it was better to play like Tricky said, something like knight d7. So if you play knight d7, of course, this doesn't work anymore. And then you could try to play king d7, maybe knight c5, and so on. So yeah, you're basically ruining white's idea of knight h4. So today we will do the last installment of asking the question. We ask ourselves, what is our opponent about to do? And then we try to take some smart action. So let's take some older game. This comes back from the 1990s, I think. You can see here Nikolic with white and Judith Polgar with the black pieces. Judith Polgar played at this stage knight e8. So I would like to know how you think that white should continue. I'll ask you for only 1 minute, okay? So Judith Polgar just played knight e8 against you. What do you think she had on her mind? Interesting idea, tricky. I looked at that also, believe me. I have a counterattack prepared against you. Many of you wanted to play like that. Not only Tricky, also Dang, Kavarav, and JM Chess. Smart Goldfish, you're the only one who played like Nikolic did back then. Not a very complex path. Not as in, yeah, if you play that Freya, I think I can take, and if you go c6, I go rook c8. I pin your pawn there. Titan Chess has also played like Nikolic. G4, I think that's a misunderstanding. Skilled Saber, maybe also misunderstanding, no? Or we have not understood what our opponent wanted to do, really. Why did they play knight e8? Did they play knight e8 to play f5? Or did they play knight e8 for a different reason? So we had some winners. Smart Goldfish, Titan, I like Chess, Gung, and Sarthak. Please go ahead, Goldfish. We will look at the game first, all right? And then we can check the other options that you were saying here. So after f4, black played knight c7. This is the standard King's Indian plan, sending the knight to d4. But after f5, it's not a move that, it's not some kind of pawn storm, no. It's just a way of stopping the opponent's plan. The only good plan they had in this position of bringing the knight. Black is very cramped, exactly, tightened. The game is not extremely interesting. Please notice that if you take, this means that we can send a knight to this nice square later. No, he's probably taking like that. He's not taking like this because this would again justify black's previous play. So in the game she played rook d8, and I'm saying it was not so interesting. It is interesting always, of course, to see such strong players. They are defending this pawn. But still, the game became quite slow later on. But my general impression here is that black is slowly getting asphyxiated in this game. No, so this is how the game continued, and later on he played g5 and he went on to win. No, white won in the end. White won in the end. So basically, when she played knight e8, if we think that f5 is the threat, we might play something like rook e1, right? But in that case, they will just continue with their plan. As for the other moves here, we can look at them very quickly. Yeah, knight takes b5. This is a nice tactical trick, but what would black play here, anyone? Of course, rook c8. And as you can see, we have calculated correctly that our knight is stopping the pawn for queening. A more promising idea in the same direction would be this one. But here I think black had a way to create counterplay. Anyone counterplay with black? What would King's Indian players play in this position? Exactly, dang, and tricky. They would play e-Karava. Yeah, everybody saw this move. So e4, we couldn't really face these threats in a good way just like that. We create our own threat instead, and we cut the connection over here. So I don't know exactly what happens here. Yeah, you could play c6. I guess I could play the same move again, right? Rook c8. I can't say this clearly. If anyone can understand it, please let me know. Also, it's possible that Nikolic versus Judith Polgar was not happy to bring the game into this kind of tactical mayhem. No, she's very strong in this area. Maybe 96, I don't know. Can I play like that, perhaps? I mean, white can probably move the queen and get back material. But is this like the best outcome you can get? Let's say I play 95, just to play some slow moves. No, pawn takes and I take back. Yeah, I don't know. Is white better, or are they much better? I'm not so sure. I'll try to put a knight over here, perhaps. Too complicated. I think so too. For me, it's also too complicated, Sarthak. But I can understand the idea, of course. I can understand the idea. In any way, I think what he played was simpler. Then somebody said black should take on f4, which is very interesting, of course. Anyone, how would white take back on f4? Would you take with a knight, with a bishop, with a rook, with a pawn? With a pawn, I think so. If you don't take with a pawn, you give black this square, right? There is absolutely no need to give black this stronghold. So I looked a little at this also. For instance, yeah, this, I don't know if this was Nikolic's own variation or who analyzed this. Here again, you could play f5, of course, but then they might play knight e5. So this is, I think, the original analysis. Rook e1, knight e6, f5, knight d4. Yeah, very entertaining variation. Anyone, how would you continue here with the white pieces? Queen f2. And I thought this position was interesting also. Maybe we should, maybe I should quiz you here. I'm just curious. What would you play in this? Don't send in the chat. Don't send in the chat. I'm curious to see who could figure this out. Something like that. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute. It's not connected to our topic, but it's interesting. Something about understanding the nature of the position. What would you play here with the white pieces? Maybe there are multiple moves here. Yeah, skilled saber, you let me play bishop d4. Is that intentional? Then you're going back with the bishop. Sarthak and Freya, I think you can play like that also. Knight takes d3, f takes e7, knight takes f2. Yeah, I think that's okay. I will play the exchange down then, but I get a bunch of pawn. Tricky play the whole variation. Aha. f6. I'm thinking, yeah, I can also take. It's still not so clear to me if you play f6. I can take back also. I could take back with the queen, maybe. Kavarov also played the supposed variation, yeah. What else did you say here? Bishop f4. f6. f6 there, I can just take it, JM chess, right? I can. Shooting stars. Interesting move, shooting stars. If you play queen g3 shooting, I'm probably putting my knight there. This is my dream always, to put the knight there. I just have to check that I don't run into some evil tactics, but I don't think I am, right? I can take like that also, maybe. But you might be better here, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think Tricky is right. So Tricky is giving us an explanation, and now we had more winners. No, Kavarov, Goldfish, Popfish, or Chessort, and Tralalelo. So Tricky, show us, please. How would you continue here with the white pieces? The typical unblocking sacrifice, no? Unblocking pawn sacrifice. Common method in positions where your opponent is about to block you in some way, right? So you ruined our blocking idea. So I take... Now, if you play f6, I couldn't really figure this out, but one theory is that I can just take on f6. Like, let's say I take with the queen. I don't see if I lose material here. Do I lose material? Or did I take with the wrong piece? I cannot even understand that. But my point was simply that if you take like this, I'm taking like that in the end. So maybe not that clear, no? That I can also take with the bishop. I failed to see the difference. So knight takes e5. Let's go back to Tricky's simple variation. So if I take with the queen, unfortunately now this pawn is safely defended, and for starters, I lose the exchange here, for starters. And also I think in the long run, black has a problem now with this bishop also. Yeah, none of black's minor pieces is really powerful. I could also try to take with the bishop, right? Tricky, but I think this also ends badly for me, right? Tricky. f6, I would have to move my queen in this direction, I think. Something going on over here. So Tricky is probably mating me. I guess that's how the story ends. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting mated. If somebody can stop the mate, let me know. Yeah, sad position, I agree. I don't think that is a good way of doing so. I could try a few things, like I would play h5 and then knight e4, but I don't think this works, right? Tricky. Yeah, I'm trying to be tricky myself here. But yeah, I thought I could maybe take and put the king on h7. I don't know. Am I alive or I die? Oh, I die anyway. Yeah. Okay. Time to stop, right? I'm getting completely executed here. It's dead. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, what did we look at here? f98 was played. We quickly understand that our opponent is probably trying to bring the knight to d4. So we play this move f4. If they take, we should probably take like that and try to maybe play e5 or later now and so on. But if they play like in the game, we should play f5 to stop 96. Okay, should we check this very quickly just to make sure that everybody is on the on the same page here? I think we'll do that, yeah. Yeah, he was an old, he was a grandmaster back in the 1990s, Sarthak. There is a generation of players that you might not know too well. I can drop some names here, Sarthak. You have Salov, Piquet, Lothier, and then the very same Nikolic. Who else can El Putyan, maybe, players like that. They were very strong in the 1990s. Now they don't play so many tournaments for logical reasons now. Yeah, these were strong players back in the pre-Stockfish days and so on. Okay, let's pick a student here. Skilled Saber, you can show us. Valery Salov was a very, very strong player, yeah, for sure. I tried to bring the knight to e6. There is a famous game, famous match, Salov versus Halifman. Maybe you can, if you're interested in chess history. Salov won the match with 5-1, and I think he won endgame wins. He won every game in the endgame, if I'm not mistaken, in this match. Salov Karpov is a famous, the majority attack on the queen side, in hedgehog structure. Yeah, you can check that game. I know which game you mean, Adi Chess. It's very beautiful. Yeah, a4, a5, softening up the... I think I put it in one of my books, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, enough talking now, enough chess history. But let's actually go back to the 1990s. Yeah, let's go 1987. Next example is also from the good old days. Aha. This game I think nobody has seen. If somebody saw this game, if someone saw this game, then you're very, how will you say, erudite? Is that how you call it? Like you know a lot of things. Ljubojevic with white, Ivanovic with black. White played d takes e5, and black evidently took back on e5. All right? So let's see if we can understand this together, what's going on in this position. Try to figure out A, black's intention, and B, white's best move with respect to A. Okay? So here we go. Tricky exercise. Start with A. Just for fun. Before we do number B. Any idea about A? Just tell me about A. Maybe knight c5, maybe b4. Many moves that can come to mind here. c5, interesting. Oh, somebody's moving here. Who is moving? I need to turn off Skilled Saber. Okay. So Skilled Saber is proposing b4. I will leave it in your hands, guys, if you want to play like Skilled Saber. Who knows? Maybe that's what the Grandmaster also played. In any case, yeah, one idea might be to play knight c5, but I'm not so sure if they really want to play that. If you play that, maybe I can simply go b4. Oh, it's like the Judith Polgar game, right? I don't know exactly where that leads us. I can maybe take on b5 also. There is some tactic with knight takes b5. Yeah, so we won't give up the solution. Yeah, let's get started instead. I'll issue the quiz. So let's see who can figure this out. Which was the most entertaining variation? Hold on, let me just think about this. Yeah, we should do it like that, right? We should do it like that. Yeah, I think this is the best variation for chess understanding. I won't ask you for the game continuation. I'll ask you for something else. So let's see your strategical understanding in this position. Wow, Titan chess, brilliant. How could you find it so quickly? So if you play like that, Skilled Saber and Kavaravit's Goldfish, I will also use my pawns, Pop Fisher. I will also use my pawns. I'm looking for dynamics there. Ari chess, I'm probably taking with the C pawn, right? JM chess, I'm probably playing B4 against you. Dang, that's not understandable. You're giving me a free pawn. Tricky, I will have to play C takes B5. I assume you want to play knight E5 in that position. I'll probably take with a knight, you take back, and I put my queen on D6, Tricky. But we can come back to that, okay? We'll come back to that. I got many moves here, but let's listen to Titan, who found the game continuation. So Ljubojevic, he played a very simple move here. He said, most likely they want to play b4. Like if I pass, or let's say I play some move like knight h4, trying to improve my pieces like that. That's another plan you could consider, right? But here, black could play like this, and they could play like that. And they are touching this pawn. We will probably have to spend a move defending it somehow, and maybe now they will play g6 and not let the knight in. And by now, I think both of white's knights are not in ideal places. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe we can do a Judith Polgar later and send our knight to the action, right? So that's the main plan they have here, to play b4 and c5. The interesting thing is that if you play b4 yourself, they can still play here c5. Now the game gets very complex because it's like a pawn break, you know, pawn break logic, right? Pawn break logic. If you think about pawn endgames, no? I hope everybody understands what I'm trying to say. Like you try to create a passer, right? Or something like that. Yeah, so if you play CB, I also play CB. And we get some kind of mayhem here on the board. You can play knight e5. I'm probably taking on c2. But it's not good for you, I think, this situation. I don't know. You could take back maybe. Yeah, what would I play in this position? I don't know if I can take and let you play knight c7. Else, if I'm old and tired, I would just take on d5 and take back, maybe. I don't know. It's a fluid position. Oh, maybe white is still slightly better here. I'm not really sure what would happen here. Maybe I made some mistake also. That's completely possible also. Maybe that was something smarter. But basically, that's the idea that black is having in this situation. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything better in this position. I could take like that also. I have a hard time understanding all this. But now maybe you can take and you can take on d7. Maybe I'm losing the game if I play like that. So yeah, not so clear at least. We can say if b4, maybe that is c5. But he played a very simple move in the game. He played a3. Now I can't play c5. I'm just giving away a pawn for free. So try to play a move with black here. Anyone, can you propose a move for black? I said in the game knight c5, I think, or knight f8. Or rook d8. Yeah, exactly. Queen a5. Queen a5 is also interesting, yeah. But no, you can't play queen a5. You're dropping the knight on d7. No. Rook d8 could be played. I think now he would play b4 maybe. Now that the pawn is protected, right? If you go c5, I can take on b5. Now it's not the pawn break logic anymore, right? I have this defended. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, but I think L is not around. L has not been here for a while. Yeah, tricky positions. Anyway, knight f8. Please come back to us, Titan. You still have the pawn, right? So b4, and let's say I play something like rook d8. Exactly. So this is the good old plan that we should remember in these positions. So white is by no means winning in this position, but they improved our position. The rook is quite nice on d6. The bishop is limited. This pawn is a little shaky. White should be a bit better in this game. But probably black should have played like that. Because in the game, yeah, like Karpov black, yeah, in the game he didn't play well here, Ivanovic in this game. He didn't play very well. He played rook c8. And now Ljubojevic did not play b4. Anyone? Why not b4? Sorry, b4. Of course, Arthak. It's asking for trouble, right? This time it's a different story because we suddenly have pressure on this side also. All kinds of tactics we have to calculate now in this variation. Maybe you don't want this. I don't know. You will take like that, but maybe I can even go back with the bishop and I just keep the pressure here. I don't know. Not clear to me that white is doing the right thing here. So Ljubojevic, he now switched plans and he played knight h4, the move I was talking about. So, okay, I have it. Yeah, like a hook for black's counterplay, exactly. So I have a question here. In the game, black took like this and white got a very nice position. They played like this and he took like that and he brought the knight and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, if black plays g6 here, let's say, which move would you prepare for? Would you play with white? How could you punish the move g6? How to punish it? Try to instantly, exactly skilled, exploit the drawbacks of the move g6. Anyone, what's the drawback of g6? What's bad about that move that white can exploit? Aha, skilled saber, Freya, and dang dang. You have exploited the flaw of the move g6. Yeah, very well done. Aha. So, yeah, we have several winners now. JM, Kavarav, Sarthak, Adiches. You also got it right. Freya, you can show us. What was your proposed move here? So please notice this move, rook d6, they did not play it before, right? I don't know if somebody said this move here. This is a move that it could be in our list of candidates moves, right? But maybe they would carry out this plan that we said. And maybe the rook is not doing too much. Black can play knight f8 at some stage. But the moment that they have played g6, it's a bit different, right? When we play it now, both knights are kind of stuck there, right? Oh, you said that, Sarthak. Oh, I'm extremely sorry. I didn't pay attention. Yeah, okay. Great that you noticed this. So black is basically running out of moves in this position. It's not easy to see a move for black. But you know what? I could be extremely tricky here, and I could play this move anyway. Did black blunder? What happened? Knight f8. What's that? What happened with the knight? It's hanging, no? Aha, dang, you're right. I'm trying to trick you here with queen and go and take your knight over there. I don't know if this works. It's still strange tactic now. Aha, so you should maybe play what Sarthak said. Okay, Sarthak, we will let you in. Sarthak wants to say something. Yeah, it would be a crime not to let him. So you have a very nice move here after knight f8, right, Sarthak? Beautiful move, like the geometrical move. Queen d2 in this way. We are defending here. We don't let them play rook d8. And maybe you're sending your queens in this direction, right? So I think white is still better here. Knight e6, and this I think was the best move here. And you're putting pressure on this pawn. The problem for black is that they can almost not move in this position. And please notice this little move a3. It was very useful though, the move a3, because we don't let them play b4, a5, and c5. All of them are now impossible to play. Yeah, I see your question, Titan. If you brought the other rook, I think I was playing 96. Exactly. I don't know how this story ends. I play this. Can you still like rescue your rooks are in a funny place now, Titan, right? Smells like you will have to give up the change here in some way. So I don't know if this is completely healthy for you, this situation. So maybe better to avoid this now and play like Sarthak said. Just bring the queen to d2. Anyway, yeah, these are tactical details. I just wanted everybody to notice now that this move is smart now. It's a smart move. Ljubojevic, I don't know how much he calculated here, but my wild guess is that he understood that this was coming. If you get to play this, then the knight is on a4. It can't come to d5 easily. b4, he knew that c5 was in the air. So that's why he played a3 first. So anyways, let's move on. Let's take something more modern. I hate to say that I don't remember if we actually had this one in the past. Let me know if this is familiar. I have a feeling I might have shown it to you. Is this familiar, anyone? Narayanan versus Kison? It's familiar. Oh, terrible. Maybe we saw this already at the chess. Okay, it will be a repetition then for you guys. It will be a repetition. So you can see it's a King's Indian battle. And I don't remember. Oh, I love to hear that. Yeah. So black played here, smart move h5, exploiting the fact that en passant drops the rook on h4. So black played h5. Your question here is, we have two questions, right? Like A, white's, black's idea, black's intention, and B, white's best move. Oh, I hope so, Sarthak. Best move with regards to A, okay? So, yeah, think about it. They just played h5 here. I would like to know what you think is on black's mind here. If it was black to move, what do you think they would play? Did they have some special idea here or no? Once you have seen that, you can picture what would be the best move here. I will only ask you for one move this time, but it will take you 1 minute, okay? So this game was decided more or less at this point. This is the critical moment in the game. So please pay a lot of attention to this, okay? Let's see. That cannot be a good move, Freya. You're missing my pressure on the g5 pawn. Grilled cheese, congratulations. That's the best move. Common sense, maybe, grilled cheese, sorry, not grilled cheese. Wow, dang, you're in a very aggressive mood today. I think I would just take back and I will put my rook on f4. I don't believe in your attack. I'm very sorry. Aha. d6. Is that what he played in the game? But d6 has a problem. No, there is a problem with d6. You'll notice. Okay, I got many moves here. It will take some time to check all of them. Yeah, he played like that, Goldfish and Chessort. You have guessed Narayanan's move in the game. So we had 3 winners, Grilled Cheese, Titan, and Sarthak. Please go ahead, Grilled. Tell us, what should White play? Aha. So, question. When White plays Rook H3, how many pieces feel safer? Anyone? When you play that move? 2, exactly. The rook itself is safer, of course. If black ever takes on g5, this rook is not in trouble. And then definitely the bishop is feeling safer. That's right. Bishop, rook, and pawn. Yeah, maybe the pawn also. In the game, unfortunately, he played bishop e2. Yeah, thanks, Grill, for your contribution. So, anyone, why was bishop e2 not a good move? I'll ask you only for 2 moves here. Let's see. Something like that. I think it should be more or less like that. Yeah, okay. 50 seconds maybe. We will come to that, Tricky. We will come to that, okay? Yeah, you're right, John Sam. Oh, you want to play like that? Jay and Chess and Tricky and everyone else. Wow, did you calculate that endgame? I don't know. I will... You have missed something here. I remember this now, not because I'm a good player or anything, just because I did this before. There is a surprise for you. I think you're lost in that endgame. I have a very evil surprise for you. After queen takes g5 check. Guess what I have in store there? Wow, John Sam, hats off to you. You are the only winner here. Smart Goldfish is also a winner. Yeah, Goldfish, you're the second winner here. Silver medal for Goldfish. John Sam, illuminate us, please. Aha, that's right, Tricky. And Sarthak, yeah, you have noticed this. Knight c2 is the sneaky move that Kison played in the game, simply because he wants to bring his useless knight to a very useful place, right, the d4 square. And if I take, of course, John Sam, what you calculated here was you have 2 winning moves here. Yeah, I would play that move too. But I think Goldfish said bishop f6. So we will definitely agree. We will accept your move, Goldfish. Bishop f6. It's fine also. You're winning materially, winning the game. So the reason why they did not play rook f4 here was that White had a very tricky tactic here. So many of you saw the tactic here. Blunder the rook. Yeah, for instance, the Kavarov. You can show us, all right? Let's bring up Kavarov. How would White continue here, Kavarov? This all looks very promising for Black until we see the next move, like tactical surprise. So White is basically giving back the rook, but in a better way. The bishops, yeah, please continue. Not very difficult, I think, Kavarov. You can probably pick up that pawn also, right? Or no? Or you don't want the pawn? Yeah, you can take the pawn. It's a free pawn, right, Kavarov? Don't be afraid. Yeah, now don't pick up anything else. Yeah, pick up what you have to pick up, right? So I think you're in trouble in this endgame. Black's in trouble here. You can go and take another pawn now, I think. Right? Yeah, knight c4. So this is not good for Black. Please notice the King's Indian bishop has seen better days, right? Knight takes b6 is coming. So maybe he saw some of these lines, Narayanan, but he forgot about the move. Sorry, where are we here? He forgot about the move knight c2, which is a very nice move here. Sleeping, yeah, that bishop is not in his best days exactly. So knight c2 was the game. King f1 continued, knight d4. Yeah, this was a very sad game for White. They tried to spice up the game a little, but Black was always better. You can see that White's king is, yeah, maybe e5. I don't know if you play e5, if I can just take on e5, whoever is moving here. But yeah, e5 doesn't seem like it's a good move, though. You're opening up the gates towards your king. So back to the initial, mouse slip. Okay, no problem, Kavarov. So h5 was played by Black. I guess he wanted to stop rook c4. Maybe that's why he played this move. So right move here, rook h3. In this case, we are vaccinated against these knight moves. Please notice that if you play, there was another move that, yeah, d6, some of you were saying. So anyone, what's the problem with d6? There is a problem with that move. I'll give you only 30 seconds. That's right, the tricky. We can change the path now, right? We don't let the queen reach d5 in this case. Or, well, if they want to, but then they will be the exchange down. Aha. Oh, you're still hooked on rook f4. Freya and Dang Dang, if I take on f4, isn't it the same thing? Except that I'm almost queening in that line. Yeah. So please, who didn't say anything here? Smart Goldfish. I don't remember. Did I ask you already? Anyway, yeah, good job by Sarthek. And by Pop Fisher and Smart Goldfish, Chess or Titans, tricky. So 93 coming to f4 is very annoying. The same motif, right? That this guy is. This time, I think, by the way, we need to use a Smart Goldfish tactic, right? In this line. We don't have rook takes f2 anymore. So we play bishop f6 instead. And this check is not really, it's not hurting us, right? Also after rook h3. Rook h3. When can you play rook h3? Oh, in the main line, you mean? I see what you mean. Here you cannot play. Oh, queen e2 and bishop takes h5. If you think so, I'm not very confident about that. Yeah, what would I play? Or maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. The thing is, I don't have many moves myself here right now. Maybe I move the bishop somewhere. And you play queen e2. Yeah, I can kind of believe that, Sarthek. Oh, no, sorry, I'm hanging this pawn. No, I play bishop d7, yeah. But maybe now you can push d6, right? If there is nothing else to do. Push this pawn, perhaps. Try to create more activity, or wait for black also to do something. I don't know. It's hard for black to move. That's what I'm trying to say here. The knight is off the record now. It's not getting into the battle in any good way. Anyway, I hope we are all on the same track here. I don't know how interesting you found this. Maybe rook f4, yeah. I don't know how interesting you found this exercise. But if such a strong player as Narayanan went wrong, I think we can learn from it, right? So something about paying attention to the opponent's threats and so on. That's how I understand it. So yeah, exactly. Many winners now. Kamara, Tricky, Chessort, Saber, Pop Fisher, and so on. Pop Fisher, you can tell us on this one. Oh, you did. Interesting, Tricky. You also missed it. So anyone can miss this. Rook h3, we're stopping this. Please, as I think Sarthak said, please notice, it didn't work at this point, right? So you can understand the thought process of Kison in this game. He said, I have something going on here, but it doesn't work right now because there is rook g4. So I play this tricky move first, h5. And also I create the passed one and so on. Anyway, maybe we can continue. No, we can take some other example. I wanted to show you something that did not happen in the game, all right? We're doing like strategical exercises today. So let's do one more, and then I think we'll do a few endgames also. So anyone, can you tell me which opening might this be? Probably not the Benoni because black has taken like that. It's more likely King's Indian. Now, friends, if you have your glasses somehow you put on your own glasses, it will be French. Else we will think it's King's Indian, right? Where black played e6 and you took like that. So yeah, this is probably King's Indian. It could be which line it could. Yeah, I don't even know which line. It must be some line like the bishop e2 and bishop e3 line or something like that. Anyways, can anyone tell me? Yeah, this is Pierce. It could. Usually there is not a pawn on c4 in the Pierce, but else it could be maybe. Anyway, I have a question here. Reasonable move with black. I'm just curious. What would you play here? It's just some analysis position. It never happened in the game, real game. Maybe the 4 pawns attack, but the 4 pawns attack, isn't that with f4? Never mind. Maybe it's the yeah, it might be the Averbach variation. If you know the Averbach variation, it's with bishop e2 and bishop t5 versus king c. So yeah, 3 pawns attack. So yeah, taking over the offer on the king side. Can someone tell me something about White's general plans and Black's general plans? Anyone? By the way, Polugayevsky was an expert. No, Polugayevsky was an expert in these positions. Yeah, White wants kingside expansion, but it has to go slowly, right? Like you would like to go back with the bishop, maybe play f4, g4, not to attack, but you would love to put 2 pawns here, so you take all the squares from the knights, right? Definitely, we don't want to allow b5. Black is trying to do something on the king side. h4 and knight h7, and yeah, I mean h4. Since I also know something about how computers think, maybe they will take this pawn. That's what they would play nowadays, right? Ugly move to take the pawn. Maybe they can play h5 later. But I'm not sure. Maybe Titan, maybe you can play like that also. I'm just saying it's a modern trend that they take such pawns. But okay, I could maybe play g4 also. You play knight h7. I would play my move bishop d2. And I would try to play f6, f4. Yeah, don't play bishop f6 now, for sure. I will try to play f4. Maybe something like this, bring all my pieces over and slowly attack you on the king side. So, yeah, Black would love to expand, but that's probably not happening in this game, right? Anyway, I'm waiting for somebody to tell me about a good move for Black. But I will ask you something else. What about trades in this kind of position? Oh, g5, interesting plan if we could do that. Yeah, trades favor Black, right? Can we agree on that? Black wants to trade, White doesn't. Exactly. Space disadvantage usually means that trades are welcome, no? Titan says, not every trade. No, definitely not. But many of them will be good for Black here. So I agree. Queen f5. Can we agree that's a candidate move? Makes sense or no? I think it makes sense for one specific reason. Let's say I understand now. I'm understanding Titan's plan of g5. I play queen d2. So anyone, if you're playing with the black pieces here, just for fun, what move do you think Black should play here? According to what we just said. Aha, that's right. Titan and Southak and shooting and dang. I think so. That's like logic in this position. Black would like to trade pieces. We can't trade many pieces here, but we can trade one pair of minor pieces. Excellent. Many of you understood this. Yeah, h4, I will play g4, whoever said that. But the trades, I cannot stop them, right? So please, dang, what was your move here with the black pieces? I think so. This is a good move. Knight takes, we take back. I don't know, would White play f3 maybe? I don't think this works, right? But you could probably go back with the queen. No? Or would you like to go to this square? I don't know if you can put the queen there. Maybe, no? Would be a way to spice up the game a little for Black also, right? If they take, maybe you have this, or you have rook c8, maybe. I like it too, Titan. It's a way to create activity. Now, if they play queen c2, no way they will ever trap your queen, right? Because you have all these squares available, right? Although I don't know exactly what's your next move here. If you play knight e7, you're blundering this pawn, right? But you can take over there. Oh, guys, I can't say all these tactics, but I think it's good for Black now. Or what do you think? Rook, is that a good move? Maybe rook a2. But still, we have to agree that Black got some activity now in this case. Tell me if I missed some crucial tactical detail here. But it seems to me that Black is in the game, at least in this case. Or maybe even if you like traded and I don't know if this is a crime. Could I play like that and play this kind of endgame? Or maybe this is very annoying. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I should not play like that, probably. I don't know what happens here. Maybe I should just go back with the queen. Sorry, guys. It became very confusing for me, at least, this position. Somebody talked about this h4 move. Is this the right moment to go h4 maybe? You try to soften up their pawns a little. I think black is okay here. That's all I can say. So yeah, maybe no. So in any case, let's come back. Now we can finally work a little more on this. So everybody agrees, queen f5. It's a reasonable move. Not a good bishop sometimes, I agree. So all I wanted to know, now that you know a little more about the opponent's plans, I wanted to see if you could tell me what white should play here. Okay? Now that you know what black would like to do, what would you do with white? Perhaps doing something that you don't let them do what they would like to do, or something like that. Dang Dang, you're inviting me to play h4. Kavarav, I will certainly play h4 in that position, softening up your dark squares, all right? Yeah, we have a few winners here. Titan, John Sam, congratulations. Sarthak, I will play knight e4, as agreed. JM Chess, you get half a point. For some reason, I thought it was better to take with the other rook, but it's okay also. Tricky, congratulations, you have also found a solution here. Smart Goldfish, you're also very smart. You found it, so great work. Please go ahead, Tricky. You can show us what would you play here with the white pieces. Since we know that they want to play knight e4, we play queen b1. Not the standard move in these positions, but it's actually quite a good trade. One of the few trades that white might be interested in. So, okay, I'm taking. Yeah, I think we should continue the variation for sure. We can do that. Yeah, okay. So there was a game, by the way. If you're interested in chess history, there is a game Karpov versus Spassky. Similar pawn structure. Similar pawn structure. Something about Karpov playing a5 quickly in these positions. So I don't know if you want to play that next. Anyway, Tricky was saying that black should play king h7. If this is black's idea, Tricky, you will probably play bishop d2 exactly and play f4 next turn. So I don't know what I would play with black. There is an idea to play f5 also. I don't know if I can do that. I play knight e7 maybe, Tricky, in this position. But I think you will always be better in these positions. Anyway, rook e1 maybe. Okay, I'm playing my f5 move. I want to put the knight down perhaps. But I think white will always be a little better in these positions. And you can grind me here. Yeah, when you play this move, you take away this square from so many pieces now. And later on, I think you should start working on the queen side in one way. Maybe you can also, I don't know, bring over the bishop or something like that. But okay, it's not like white is winning or anything. It's just that they are pushing a little here in this position. So bishop d4 maybe. White has lasting pressure. I agree. Yeah, I would probably go for a5 and knight a4 and b4. You should check that game, Spassky. If I could find it, I would bring it up. But in any case, I don't know how interesting this was. But I'm pretty sure that this is the best move in the position. Those of you who played f3, I'm playing h4. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're downgrading your pawn structure now if you play like that. So that's what I would think. Okay? So I hope we can agree on this, even if I admit that it's like a very abstract example. Yeah. Let me see if I have that Karpov Spassky game somewhere. It was kind of interesting. Something very similar happened. Karpov versus Spassky. If I have this somewhere. Yeah, I don't really remember if I have it here. Yeah, it was here. Oh, interesting. It was not exactly the same. Yeah, if anyone is interested, we can look at it right now. JM Chess, please. What did white play here? Queen b1, stopping knight e4. I agree. Gukes is having a good tournament. No, it's interesting tournament over there in Croatia. All right, this is the example this is the game I was talking about. Not exactly the same, right? Different pawn structure, more blocked. I was just curious. What do you think white should play here? Well, I told you already, right? You're right, Sarthak. And there was some very concrete reason why you should not play rook h1. Not that I remember it completely, but I have it in my notes, so I can tell you. Yeah, Karpov didn't want to play on the king side in this game. Aha, so Sarthak, Titan, Tricky, and Skilled, Chess Art, and Pop Fisher. That's right. That's what happened in the game. Please go ahead, Chess Art. We can talk about Rook H1 later, okay? So please go ahead, Chess Art. We're waiting for you. So A5, because else actually black could play A5. If you play Rook B1, for instance, to play B4, I'm playing A5. You get this square, but maybe you don't win the game, right? You can't break through so easily in this position. So he played A5. Why didn't he play Rook H1? You're asking. Yeah, because in that case, well, you can play A5 anyway, of course. Yeah, but he simply said, I want to play on the queen side, and I won't use the rook on this side. I will use the rook on that side. So I won't give black an extra tempo to get closer. Yeah, A5, F6. So did Karpov take? Did Karpov take on G5? On F6, sorry? No. No, he did not take. He said, I don't need to help black's pieces to improve, right? Maybe. So what did he play? Yeah, good old Karpov. Aha, tricky. He went with the other rook, I think. I guess, I don't know if there was some variation where the pawn was hanging. Or maybe there is something with b6. I'm not really sure, tricky. What was the reason now? But he played b4 here. And then he went on to win the game on the queen side. So anyway, I just remember that game. It's a good plan to know about. Anyways, we should continue, okay? We should continue. Let's take a few more examples. So, endgames, okay? Next example, exactly. Here we are. So, last part of this topic, endgames. Black just played knight c7 in this example, okay? Why did black play that? You would ask yourself, right? Why did they play that? Don't answer in the chat. Just think for yourself. And what should we do about it, okay? We are a pawn up here. No, actually, we're not a pawn up. It's equal, but this is a big problem, right? This pawn is a big problem. So I will quiz you. Let's see if somebody can figure out how white should continue in the... Yeah, please don't answer in the chat. Thanks for that effort, Sarthak. I'm very grateful to you. Okay. Why did I put a knight down? Please try to answer that question, all right? Aha, tricky. You found it in 5 seconds. Good for you. Bad news, grilled, Titan, Adi. Don't forget that not always the most natural move will be the best, right? I like chess. You got it. Congratulations, John Sam. Gung Gung. Bob Fisher, you also got it. Congratulations. Please go ahead. I like chess. What should white play here? Aha, king e1. Most natural move, king e2. But there is a problem with king e2, which those of you who said that, you will notice instantly. What's the problem here? Yeah, that's what black wanted to play. And now comes the important move here. But you can only find these two moves. Aha, we can only find these moves if we pay attention to the opponent's plan, right? These moves are only designed to fight against the opponent's plan. So after you play bishop f1, if I go knight b5, okay, we will come to that, Titan. We will come to that. Don't worry. So they're about to play knight c3 or knight a3. We have to take exactly. And anyone, what do you think happens in this endgame? What would you play with black here? We can talk about Titan's variation. Yeah, please don't play king e2. This is the natural move, but then actually black wins because they get to play this, right? Some of you probably analyzed this already, and you saw that it's hopeless, no, for poor white, because the knight gets there with check and so on. So if you play king here and rook a 5. I think I understand what you're saying. You want to play this and go and take my bishop, right? That's what you want. Interesting. I didn't think of this. It's funny to notice that if this actually happened, your rook is in a peculiar place, but you can probably liberate the rook later. Yeah, in any case, it's not necessary to look at because we could play king d2 anyway, right? Yeah, you have answered your own question. Yeah, thank you very much. What about, yeah, probably also bishop f1 could be played. Oh, I see what you mean. I get a little nervous here, but maybe I have no reason to be nervous. Feels like white is lost now. I'm taking and... Or what did I miss here? Isn't black winning? Oh, you talked about something else. Or what? Rook g8. What rook g8? This is g8, no? That's b1. Or how do we understand each other? Yeah, I don't understand. There must be something with this pawn is the b pawn. In any case, yeah, thanks for the move. Whoever said this, Titan. No, very interesting. Yeah, king d2 looks like safer. No, safer move. So I guess that's it now. I had the last question in this example. Yeah. So king e1 so that the bishop can go to f1 and stop the knight b5 move. So I was just curious, what do you think would happen in this endgame? What would you play with black here? Oh, Sarthak is talking about this. Okay, Sarthak, I think you have seen something, right? Or no? Or no? Or maybe not. White is going to do this and that. What would you do with the black pieces? You're going to take the pawn like that. Oh, I understand. But maybe I can go and take this pawn later. Or no? So I think that's not a safe plan, is it? I will play this and I'm walking home. I think I'm winning this game, right? I'm winning this game. So we should probably not do that, right? So anyone, tell me. I'm waiting. If you have this with black's perspective, what would you play with black here? Rook b6. And if I go king c3? You're making a draw anyway. Yeah, of course. Yeah, rook c6 maybe. Okay. Okay, very confusing. Rook f6 and I'm going back with the rook, but yeah, okay. Black is making a draw easily, right? To bring up the king and so on. Yeah, exactly. Nice. Let's take it one more time then. Let's take it one more time. So black played knight c7. I'll quiz you only for the first 2 moves. I'll give you only 15 seconds. Perfect. Okay, let's do one more. Excellent. Please, Kavarav, tell us, what would you play with white pieces? Yeah, we'll do 1 or maximum 2. Okay, then I think we're done. Exactly, that's the move to stop knight b5. All right, I'll bring up my next example that I used many times. This one I know it for a long time already. Familiar to anyone? Familiar or not familiar? Nobody saw this, no? Typical Karlsbad endgame, no? Karlsbad endgame. Aha, so knight is smarter than the bishop, no? In such structures. Need to be careful, yeah, definitely. So white played the move knight d3, all right? Ask yourself, the weak pawn on c6, certainly. But this is a good pawn structure by black, by the way. So black is cooked. I wouldn't say that, but anyway. So A, white's intention, and B, our reaction. I'll give you 1 minute, okay? I'll give you 1 minute. Or 1 minute 15, okay? Yeah, tricky one, this one, tricky one. I'm very sorry, Freya JM Chess, you have played exactly like the Grandmaster did in this game. So did you, Grilled Cheese. Careful with natural moves now. You can't always think in terms of natural moves. That's a very ugly move, sorry to say that, Kavarav. And you have missed my threat besides. Titan Chess, you made it again. You have noticed the threat. John Sam, congratulations. We have a second winner. Aha. The point is you really need to see my threat, else this is not going to be possible to save. Wow, so many of you fell into my evil trap. And in Savchenko's evil trap also. Dang, you were very close. Yeah, I guess I take on e7 then. King there, and yeah, I think it's okay what you said, c takes d4. So I like chess, John Sam and Titan. You were the 3 winners. Please go ahead, John Sam. Show us. Mysterious move by black here. Why did they play rook c3? Well, they actually did not play rook c3. They played in the game c